welcome to the Pinball Post. This is episode 18, believe it or not. Man, oh man, it's been a lot of shows actually. I didn't think that we would get to here, but here we are, show 18. Man, all right. So first things first, I'd let you know that I have a little bit of a cold. It's not terrible, but if I'm sniffling and terrible sneezing and all that, I will kill the show. But just so you know, I'm going to try to get through it. We got a lot to cover, so I want to make sure to try to do what we can. Welcome to Beamy. Time for Pinball Talk. Love to hear it, man. And Pinball Wizard, here we go. Yes, sir. All right. So we got some fun stuff to talk about tonight. So we're lots of new stuff across all of the pinball world, quite frankly. We've got X Arcade news. We've got real pinball news. Obviously, tons of at-game stuff. Some Zachariah pinball. There's stuff all over the place. And it would be remiss for me to say, to not say that if you're new to the channel this week, there's a good chance that there's a lot of you with a brand new HDP coming out at Sam's Club. Hopefully we get some new people in here that have never been part of this community before, and we'll see what they think of the system as well. So that would be awesome to see. Obviously Wednesday night changed it up a little bit. I could have done a show on Sunday if I wanted to, because we had already covered everything between Sunday and Wednesday, so it was good. And we've got a lot of stuff coming. We didn't get any big news, honestly, for new releases as of yet, but we'll see how it goes. So let's get into it. We're going to talk first about some real pinball and some stuff that happened kind of around the world, quite frankly. This was a big one. So first off, we're going to talk a little bit about The Walking Dead. So The Walking Dead, man, oh man, the absolute... people are not happy about The Walking Dead remastered coming out from Stern. What do you guys think of it? It's kind of interesting to see that this is a remastered game. I want to say this is like a 6-year-old game. It's been around a while. It's pretty well liked, quite frankly, but I don't ever see this one anywhere. It must not have sold very well. But they've remastered it with some new code and some new assets. They've even got this exterior lighting along the outside of this cabinet on the premium version here. Pretty interesting to see. Kind of really see what your guys' thoughts are on this, because I tell you what, the biggest thing that I heard right away was, what are they doing with the color scheme? And I'm not shocked. This is very much a Stern thing as of late. If you've looked at a lot of their releases, they are extremely colorful. I'm not sure what they're doing with this. It's been very interesting across the board as to why they're so colorful. The Walking Dead in particular, a darker type of atmosphere, a darker type of IP, and yet these tables still have a huge splash of color. The Pro version actually has this black molding, which actually looks, I think, a little better, honestly, than going with the red. But man, oh man, it's really weird to see, is it not? This is the playfield. Again, super colorful. I don't know. I'm just really interested to see. I know I have to speculate that they do this for to get people's attention, or that the artist is just kind of spitballing. I'm not really sure if they get paid by the hour. maybe that's rude. Looks like clown puke. Maybe fine for an arcade or bowling alley, but for home, nah. Yeah, I know, Pinball Wizard, you're not wrong, man. And Leon, welcome to the stream, buddy. Yeah, the color schemes are really weird right now, and I was certainly not the first person to say it, but I'm certainly one that's going to say it as well. There seems to be a serious issue with color schemes. So I'm going to go back. This is an example of one that I remember that not too long ago. So Venom. You remember when Venom came out? Another super colorful system. And I'm like, Venom is colorful? I mean, yes, okay, you have Carnage and stuff like that, so you have some different symbiotes that have some color schemes to them and such, with the yellows and the purples and reds and stuff. But really, if it's a Venom table, they could have really went with a really dark theme and continued to do that. They didn't do it on... But if you look at these games, Gomez in particular, between Godzilla, You could look at an Elwyn. You could look at, you know, it just seems like all of these tables are getting extremely colorful. King Kong, super colorful. Godzilla, super colorful. Venom, super colorful. Like, now we got Walking Dead, super colorful. Like, what are, I just don't understand. What are we just hard up for art that is themed properly? I feel like they could have done a lot of different things for these tables. This one looks a little better with the purple. It's purple, a little, darker blue. It's still got the black armor and stuff like that. I don't know. Like, I feel like these tables are really aggressive. And then you look at the playfield. I mean, this playfield is insane, the amount of color and the amount of stuff going on. That's not crazy wrong for the actual playfields. Playfields have a ton of rule sets. Stern games in general have a ton of stuff going on. Lots of modes, lots of stuff going on concurrently. Obviously, they want to pay homage to Flash Thompson and Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker and Maximum Carnage, and it's just really interesting to see how colorful some of these tables are. But yeah, the art design for the Stern tables has been... I don't know what's with the ultra colorful schemes. I would like to see more themed appropriately tables. So what do you guys think of this? Is this something, I mean, like you said, I mean, would you want this in your house? I mean, this is really loud visually for someone's house. So in an arcade, it does make a little more sense. It's going to draw attention. But what do we know about attention? If all the tables look wild and crazy, then none of them are, right? So I think, yeah, dang, My Little Pony isn't that colorful. You're right. I mean, it's really shocking to me that they're that crazy colorful. And this is The Walking Dead. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like they put it in the sunset and they put fire behind it just to try to brighten it up. And I'm like, no, you leave it dark and brooding. And I think it would have came through a lot better. I think it would have resonated with the fans quite a bit more too, or at least one of the three. In this case, they got the premium, the limited, and there's a pro version too. But I just think that they could have done so much less colorful, and I think it would have resonated a lot better. So anyway, it's good to see Biggie D. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Wingo as well. Awesome to have you guys. Everybody's talking in the chat. I love it. Welcome everybody. Like I said, this is not a ton of news necessarily, but this is something that was really talked about a lot this week, and I wanted to bring it up and just talk just briefly about it, because man, some of the real pinball stuff is really interesting to see, and those trends seem to trickle down to some of the stuff that we do. So good to see. Next up, we're going to talk about a community mod that I got to see this week on the Facebook user groups, and this is by Danny Hale. This thing is awesome. I'm going to start by showing his original unit. So this is his Addams Family system. So many of us have the Addams Family or an Attack from Mars. This is not totally uncommon. This is the typical one. Got the sound effects. I assume it doesn't need to have the sound effects kit necessarily, but it's got the control panel here. He's got the topper. So this is about a $1,500 unit, probably between $1,500 and $2,000, depending on what he's got internally on this thing. But yeah, he wanted something different and decided he wanted to go something crazy. And so look at this, man. Monster Bash skin. Is this not awesome? He took out the control panel, and I assume he's probably going to do something with the control panel to do a custom graphic for the Monster Bash. But man, this artwork looks awesome. He even changed the flipper buttons to be more color aesthetic to the actual theme, the blue and the yellow. Looks awesome. The next picture here is he's got the Bride of Frankenstein, plunger, the creature, and the Frankenstein on the front of the cabinet. This is a lot of work on the front side with the coin door and stuff. You have to take all of this stuff off. It's a lot bigger deal than it is on the sides, obviously, without having to really do much, just flipper buttons and stuff. So this was a really cool mod. Really excited to see this. And then he has this video here of the actual unit. He's got a new topper from it. And you can see here, he's actually got the control panel all installed. So he did do a custom graphic. There you go. What do you guys think of this stuff, man? This is pretty darn cool. Again, Danny Hale. This is on the officially unofficial At Games 4K group. What a cool room. It's got the bit pixel on the Ultimate arcade there. He's got some neon between the arcade and the Galaga up in the corner. Good stuff, man. I love to see this stuff. If you guys have community stuff that you want to share, I'm happy to share it. This stuff is awesome, and I love doing this stuff. So that was a shout out to Danny Hale and his awesome mod. We've seen some really good skins. The one thing we haven't got a whole lot of is skins. We'd love to have some more skins. We really haven't seen them. So kind of disappointing. I would hope that more of those would come out. I thought honestly Medieval Madness would have dropped at some point. But it sounds like they're really trying to sell off the Addams Family, Jurassic Park. Those are the two big ones that we're still hearing about with all the sales and different things like that. So they're going to selling those off. And then, of course, now you get the HDP, which is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles skin. So, hey, man, I mean, I think they could really do a HDP release with Addams Family because the cabinet is the same size. Maybe the mounting is a little different for the internals. Who knows? But it was something to talk about for anyway. All right. So with that, let's talk about just briefly what came out this week. Obviously, we got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But this is the new Legends CE HDP. This was the new branding that we got with the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles table. Did any of you buy this thing? So there's 9 people here. It's kind of early yet, and this wasn't particularly advertised all that great. It was kind of last minute. I apologize. But is anybody in the chat purchased an HDP? What do you think about it? I'm shocked. I don't see anybody talking about the thing. I don't see any videos of it, really. I know Papa Brad did one. I've seen, I believe it was Mr. Legends did one. So big news regarding that. I'm going to be doing a review of the HDP. They are working on sending me one this week. So hopefully I'll get that soon, and we'll see if it's going to be shipped out or if I'm going to pick it up at Sam's Club or however they want to do it. I'll be doing a review of it at some point. I have been in contact with At Games. They did talk to me a little bit, and I'm in their Teams chat now, so I can communicate a little bit with them and just kind of be a part of that. So I've got a little bit of their voice and kind of things, and they're watching the stuff. They really liked my top 10 video of games to buy for the sale that was out, so that was really cool. PK said he really enjoyed that one. So anyway, good stuff. I've just been getting back into VPX. Yeah, VPX has been a big thing, especially for Pinball Wizard. I know that's been a VPX rabbit hole you've been talking about. Yep. I've been playing a lot of it too lately. In particular, Transformers. Transformers 2011 Stern, I really like. And so I've been playing that one. They don't have the home edition, sadly. So that was one that I kind of wanted to play, but I can't find that home edition one anywhere. So maybe it's around, but I haven't seen it. Leon, we're all waiting on your review. At Games' future depends on me. I know. Nice try. Nice try. Nope, that's not true. My guess is most of us, if not all of us who got it, are first-time users and don't know the community haunts like here as of yet. So that's probably true. Yeah. They will probably, anybody who's new is probably not necessarily looking for every week news channel for At Games just yet. So who knows? But yeah, the HDP is out, and that was the new nomenclature. I have to add that to some of my graphics. I usually do HD and 4K together to kind of let people know that these are this game is released for multiple systems, and this is going to be one more of those things. It's going to be a little badge up in the upper corners and things like that. So something to talk about. There was quite a bit of news surrounding some of this stuff, so that was pretty interesting. One of the things I did want to talk about is the Ninja Turtles, the game itself. So what was people's reactions to it? This is a post that I seen on Facebook where a lot of people are complaining about the lower playfield. On the Turtles 4KP table, does the lower playfield ever go active? Not saw it in a video yet. So this was something, there's been a lot of complaints about the lower playfield on TMNT, and I want to know what people's thoughts are on it. Is it underutilized? Is it overutilized? Is it just about right? I have my opinion on it, but I kind of wanted to hear what you guys had to say. Evening, folks. Hope the chat is doing well. Billy Woods Mods, welcome to the stream, my man. All good stuff. Billy Woods inspired me to do a mod section in my Discord this week. So there's a channel that's going to be covering things like mirror blades and exciters and plunger mods, or anything you could possibly think of with your 4KP, or anything pinball related, mod related. So definitely check that out. Also, news about that, if you're not in my Discord, I finally got it figured out to open up the Discord so that you no longer need an application to join. And on the description of my YouTube channel, my Discord link will now be permanently open so that people can actually get in. They don't have to try it and have it fail. You should be able to get right in if you're interested in playing the Daily Grind, which is our daily tournament. Which, now that I'm thinking of it, I should have had this on hand and ready to go, but this is the Daily Grind. I'm actually doing, I did a short today with this banner, and I will try every day to try to show just a little clip of the video or the game that we're going to be playing. And I did get some grief today about I did like a 3-minute tutorial on winter sports, which was the game for today. And it was kind of funny because this is the game that we did today, Winter Sports. I'm currently the leader, I think, only by a couple hundred thousand points. We'll see if that lasts or not till 11 o'clock. We've got a couple hours to finish, but I'll do a short out of this. But I did a 3-minute tutorial on this game, and the first comment was like, "Play the game," and I'm like, dude, I can't play the game if I'm talking about it. So anyway, there's always one thing or another. You're either playing the game or you're talking about the game. So anyway, that was something. But the Daily Grind is a daily tournament in my Discord. If you're interested in playing a new game every day, that is something to talk about. Back to Turtles. Lower playfield. Lower playfield is kind of tough to hit. Billy Woods Mods, you're not wrong, dude. Absolutely. And that is a big thing. Like, it is kind of a hassle, quite frankly. And it's a really tough shot from the right flipper. So we'll go to it right now, actually. We'll just show it real quick. So horizontal reviews. So yeah, when you're looking at this thing, this shot over here to this capture hole is a really, really tough shot. He has to be on the very tip of that right flipper to be able to make that shot. And it does require you only really get down there 3 times that I can think of. And so when I started talking about this, I was like, the only times you really go down there is at the end of a mode, where you got the timer for you got like a 30-second timer where you start with 5 million points and it counts down, and you try to hit as many things as you can during that time. And then whenever you drain, it scores your points accordingly. You can get 100,000 points per hit. So that's one way after a mode. The second way is through Sewer Showdown, which is a side mode, one of those city cleanup modes, where if you get down there and hit a couple of targets, it's only 1 million points. So I think you have to get down there, you have to hit 3 targets, I believe it is, and that's it. You get 1 million points. But if you finish all 5 of the city cleanup missions, you can get 20 million points. So that's where the incentive is. And then the other time is during Foot Clan Frenzy, I believe it's called. Foot Soldier Frenzy. When you're doing that, when you have the targets at the ramps, so you got these targets at the end of the ramps, and then you also have the lower playfield. So you can go down to the lower playfield and hit. You need to hit 5 foot soldiers either at the ramp ends or down on the lower playfield. So any combination of those will get you the end of the mode. But that's 3 times. It's 3 separate occasions that you would have to go down to the lower playfield. Is that not enough? Is that too many? I got to thinking. So my opinion. It's good to hear some of your guys's. Lots of thumping in your mic. Don't know if there's a second mic that is on or not. No, I did change the position of my mic, so maybe I need to change the the gain a little bit. I'll turn that down. I actually got, if all of you know Cornercade, Danny. So this is my mic. I usually have it up on the boom off to the right of the here, kind of up in this location. Today I put it down in front of me. He said my audio quality was garbage, and then he was ashamed to listen to me as a YouTuber because I was so bad. So that's what happened. I put the mic, I took it off, and I put it in front of me. So if this is not working, I will change it back to the way I had it. It's like every time you touch your desk, rumble to rumble. Okay, good to know. So maybe let's do this. I'm going to pick this up one time. I'll put it on the mouse pad. That should take out the vibration. There we go. We'll figure this out. This is new to me. I apologize. Thank you, Pinball Wizard. Just a heads up. Yeah, we got that. Yeah, lower playfield. So it's tough. The only thing that I had said is that once you get good at this table, you're going to be going down to that playfield quite a bit, maybe every couple minutes, either at the end of a mode or through a random mission or something like that. So I didn't think it was that big a deal, but I was shocked to see how many people actually hated the lower playfield or that it wasn't implemented enough in the actual gameplay. So interesting thoughts. But yeah, so there's that. TMNT kind of is what it is, quite frankly, and I was kind of interested to see what they had about that. Next up, we're going to talk briefly about X Arcade. If you guys did not hear, I did a quick post on it, or a short. So the X Arcade, this picture is not the best, I apologize, has these little grips on the right and left hand side here. So in this little spot here, there's kind of this palm rest that kind of you rest your palm on where those buttons aren't as pronounced. They were 3D printed, and they were going to sell them separately from the X Arcade. Well, they have decided this week that it is best to just include it with the haptics kit. So what do you think? Good idea? Oof. I'm dealing with the cold, so my voice is probably a little off too, so I apologize for that. And if the mic is going to continue to be a problem, it's just going to go back on the boom because nobody's complained about mic except for Cornercade prior to the show. So maybe he's wrong. And if you're watching, Danny, I'm laughing at it. So yes, this 3D printed stuff that was going to be sold separately for the X Arcade is going to be included with the haptics kit now. It was going to be extra $20, and you were going to have to pay for shipping, or you could 3D print them yourself. I, for one, had said, look, I don't have a 3D printer, so that's not something I'm going to do. I would just buy them from you. And I think they got so much of that they just said, you know what, screw it. We'll just include it with the haptics kit, which I think was probably a really good idea. So good to hear. Next up, we have some new releases coming to Zachariah Pinball. Have you guys seen the new releases? Quite a few of them, and actually, I'm missing one. Let's see, let me pull up the other one. I know there's another one in here somewhere. It's not there. All right, here it is. So, Devil Riders Deluxe. Now, Devil Riders is a pretty popular game, quite frankly. We've had a couple of really good ones. Adding them adds to the value of the kit. You're absolutely right, Billy Woodsmod. They should have made the flippers in the lower playfield darker. That was a complaint, actually, Billy. That's a good point that you brought up. There was a lot of talk about they could have made those flippers black, or they could have made them green or something just so that they didn't stick out as much as they did. That was a consideration that I brought up as well in my review based on that feedback. So, yeah. Chalada Love, welcome to the stream, buddy. Yeah, so Devil Riders Deluxe. If you guys have not seen this one, there's a really good chance that this will come to @Games at some point. I really like this game. It is voiced by Crow Continuum, who's another YouTuber like myself. My voice tonight would not be appropriate for voicing call-outs for a game. But Crow did a really nice job on this. It seems a little awkward at first because I recognized the voice, and that was pretty funny. We did talk in the Discord about Billy Woods Mods doing some voice work for some of the games. I thought that would be an awesome choice. They should have lowered or turned off the lighting in the lower playfield when not in play. Yeah, and I mentioned that in my review too. I think they could have done more like Black Hole. If the digital version of Black Hole doesn't do a very good job of that, you can see the under the playfield really easily. But if you look at the real table, that under playfield is completely black when you're playing it. You just cannot see anything. And then when it lights up, it's the most prominent thing on the playfield. So, yeah, that's another good option that they could have done, which I'm surprised they didn't do. I was kind of interested. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of weird to say, quite frankly. So, and we're trying to figure out some of this stuff. But, man, all right. Devil Riders. So yeah, what do you think of this table? I think it looks pretty cool. I am concerned that this would look really goofy in 2 dimensions. You could see looking in the back of the playfield here to this motorcycle. This is going to be really, really, you're going to see this from a really, really sharp angle, and it would be really goofy looking. So I'm curious as to how good that would look, quite frankly, with that going on. So we'll see. I don't know. It does make me wonder if it would work as well as what they're saying. Who knows, man? They could handle me doing the voice work. Manhole cover that slid off and on when it activated. Yeah, see, we're having a lot of good ideas there. Chalana Love, you're not late. You're early for next week's show, the Beamy says. So, yep, everybody taking care of each other. So that's really cool. So Devil Riders, this one has not been announced for the At Games 4KP. We didn't even know this one was in existence. But we're starting to see some new games coming to Zachariah Pinball of IPs that we already have. So there's a really good chance that this one will come as well. So, yeah, so that's Devil Riders. And then we got some, these ones actually already are out on Steam already. So Devil Riders is already out. This next one is Aerobatics Deluxe. So this one's pretty cool. This is all about aerobatics and stunt planes and things like that. Obviously, these are more biplanes and things like that. Biplanes and the older planes. The UK has their own team of, the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds are the ones we know, but those are jets. More of the aerobatics teams are typically these smaller planes and things like that. So it's really cool. And this one has an inverted flight, Humpty Bump, which I've never heard of. I have no idea what kind of trick that is. A rolling turn, slow roll, inside spin, and tail slide. All really cool nomenclatures to different tricks that they do. I think this one looks pretty cool. Very simplistic upper playfield. So, yeah, who knows, man. It is a little weird. It does have this really cool, you'll notice this upper playfield kind of goes to a scoop here, and this ramp comes all the way down and all the way underneath the flippers, which is something that we see in some of the Williams tables. You remember Hurricane does this. If you've ever played Uncanny X-Men, the Stern table, it does that as well. I cannot think of another time where Magic Pixel has ever done a ramp like this where it goes underneath the flippers and then back onto the playfield. So it throws it back onto the playfield. Cool design. Something different. One of the biggest complaints that I heard with TMNT was that it was using the same old assets. It's the same old design. It's symmetrical. There just wasn't a lot going on. This is way different. And now that I'm looking at this, do you notice this plane here? So look at this plane right smack dab in the middle here. This one here looks like it's on a loop. So this thing is going to fly in circles while you're playing the game, more than likely. Now this would be on Steam, of course. Would this I would assume that this game comes to 4KP at some point. Would that move in the 4KP version? You'd have to hope. It'd be a huge loss. We haven't been getting all of the necessary assets for the 4KP, for example. If you look at something like, let's see, Supersonic Deluxe, for example. we'll jump back over. So Supersonic Deluxe in the upper right here, where the fan blades are at the very top, the turbines, those are supposed to spin. They spin on the 4K, or they spin on the Steam version in Zaccaria. They do not on the 4KP. I don't know if that's for performance reasons or not, but for one reason or another, they do not do that. So, yeah, kind of disappointing, but it's a thing. So let's go to, well, here, we'll go to the next image here. Here is the blowed up image of Aerobatics Deluxe. I don't know, man. I like seeing new assets. There is some new stuff here going on. It's only, I see this is only 4 flippers. Again, you have 2 on the upper playfield, 2 on the lower playfield. You got some cool graphics. This is kind of old-timey, I don't know, what would this be, 1930s, 40s? I don't know exactly. I can't necessarily figure out planes by this era. There is some jets in here, so maybe this is 40s and 50s, maybe. I don't know. So anyway, really cool game. Hopefully this comes to the 4KP as well. I would have to believe it does. Dennis B, welcome to the stream, my man. Barnstormers, Wing Walkers, old school air shows. Yeah, I think that'd be great, man. DRD is too small. Top of the screen artwork shortens the playfield too much. Okay, yeah, fair enough. For Devil Riders Deluxe, it's too small. That's pretty insightful, Leon. You're probably right about that. That makes me think that they had the turtles baking for some time. Yes, I think you're right, Billy Woods. That was one of the things that I mentioned too. I think that game's been in the hopper for about 6 months. That DMD would have been updated, I think, had it been a more recent release. So, and then Billy Woods also says Magic Castle is another example. The dragon at the bottom of the playfield doesn't move in the 4K either. You're right, and I made a note of that too in my review. You do not see that dragon; it's just static, and they didn't even make sure that it was looking at the player or anything. It just is what it is. So, kind of disappointing, but yeah, it happens. So we're going to lose some fidelity with the 4K releases on some things. These next set of games, and we're going to go through these a little quicker because we're already half hour in, believe it or not. These next ones are Postal. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Postal series. They've already had 8 Postal games come out for the Zaccaria Pinball system on Steam. But these are 4 new tables they're calling this the brain damaged section of the game. Or, I don't know if you're familiar with the Postal series. It's very quirky. It's like a first-person shooter on PC. And it's absolutely crazy. So this is kind of the equivalent of what one of their solid-state games would be like. Love Postal. That's good to hear, man. If you like these games, please let me know. Like, Billy Woods Mods, man. I never seen any of these games back in the day. I didn't play them. Check the old calendar. Yeah, I don't think Aerobatics or Devil Riders Deluxe was on there. They weren't there at all. We're starting to see some new ones. I will say I want Nautilus Deluxe. I think that's probably going to come out. Huge fan of the original Postal. So yeah, this is one of them. I thought this table looked pretty cool. It does have a dog taking a crap in the middle of the playfield. So that's a thing. I don't know what you guys think of that. I think these are butts. I don't know. And this, Billy Woods, if you know anything about this thing, what are these K things? What are these things? They look very phallic in nature, and I don't know what they're supposed to be, if that's a joke or... I'm not really sure, to be honest. Pinball Wizard says both Magic Pixel and Zen do as little as possible with the @Games platform. They could do more, but they are given bare bones. They give us bare bone variants. Yeah, that's true. That's true. No, if you check the old calendar, you'll see that November 1st they listed an @Games original. That's what makes me think that Turtles was baking for a while. Oh, well, yes, that is true. Yeah, so they knew about it for sure. That is one of the @Games originals. We've got 6 in total that are coming. We've seen 3 of them now. We've seen Firefighter Wildlands, we've seen Baby Shark, and we've seen TMNT. So we got 3 more coming. So who knows what they are? I have not seen them. I have not been privy to any of that. So they're going to be hold those very close to the chest. So the dog taking a crap would be perfect for the 4KP, right? All right, next up. This is the essentially like a remake one. This is called American Dream Gone Wrong. So I thought this one is interesting. It has what appears to be toilet paper in the background up in here. This is very dark. They've got it in like nighttime mode. So the Straight Out of Suburbia are some of the modes. The Bareback Redemption, T-Day, Bigger on the Inside modes, Black Friday Showdown. So these games are off the handle. They're really cool. If you've ever played these, the callouts are hilarious. I have the Postal games on Steam, the first set, Steam Postal 1 and 2. They're hilarious. His wife is yelling at him, and it's just, it's so good. I'm expecting those to be the Nickelodeon properties that are going to be originals. Yes, I hope so too, Billy Woods Mods. And I've sadly in my review I called it Nintendo. Like seriously, what was I thinking? Obviously, I'm pointing to a Nickelodeon symbol, and I actually said Nintendo. So I apologize to anybody who's seen that. I would have to believe, and I've already been joking with them on their team's channel. I'm like, it's SpongeBob, right? Come on, be SpongeBob. Tell me it's SpongeBob. It's a Viacom thing. I'm hoping it's that. It could be Rugrats. Obviously, Nickelodeon could be a lot of different things, but Viacom is very large, so they have a lot of different IPs that they could use. For Postal, his dog used to follow him around on the game, and you can use the dog to attack people if you're injured or reloading. That's so cool, man. Those are the ones that I have as well. Gary Coleman, and the second one is sister. I totally forgot. You're right. Billy Coleman, or Gary Coleman. Did I say Billy Coleman? That's hilarious. Yeah, Gary Coleman in that one is awesome. You're absolutely right. He's like in the callouts and stuff. So, yeah, really cool. So these are fun games. If you play Zachariah Pinball, definitely give them a shot. These are free to try, I think. Oh wait, no, the Postal games are not for some reason. I apologize. This one is like kind of the deluxe version. But what I like about these games is look at the assets. They're very different. Okay. So this one has an upper playfield. Shocking. We never see an upper playfield on a Magic Pixel table. But no center post. But it has this ramp that goes straight up to the upper playfield. That's pretty cool, right? We don't really see a lot of crazy assets on these Magic Pixel tables. So these are kind of like way out there. Very cool, very different. And then the last one, look at this thing. I mean, Postal Brain Damaged. This is I guess another remake / deluxe type of table. Absolutely crazy. It's this woman here with her bag, and she's a bash toy, so you're going to hit the drop targets underneath him or underneath her. It looks like there's a zombie dog of some sort over here. You've got a robot. I mean, these games are completely off the handle, and they're awesome in a lot of different ways. So, random topic. Today is Back to the Future Days. November 5th, 1955. Doc Brown invented time travel. So everyone play the Zen table to celebrate. Yes, if you have not already seen the memes for that, definitely do that. So yeah, lots of pinball news, man. We got so many new tables coming out across all types of medium. I would expect that we're going to see more for the X Arcade in the terms of the VR pinball shortly, I would hope. They haven't had any new releases since Elvira, which to them is like 3 weeks ago. For the 4K, it's only been a week or a couple weeks, so it is what it is. There are going to be AMA type releases, though. That's true. And they are AMA on Steam as well. But you're right, we could get them on the 4KP based on the AMA rating. So, and we do have parental controls, so that's a thing. Would love to see that, quite frankly. So, okay, next up. Oh, you know what? There's one more table that we could have gotten, and then we have not. We'll go ahead and show that one as well. How many of you would have loved to have seen this one? This is Primal Carnage Remake. Is the VR sale still going on? I don't know, to be honest. We're going to talk about another sale here in a second, but you're right. I don't know if I think the MetaQuest sale is gone on until, well, Iron Rebellion was on sale till the 3rd. I don't think it's still going on, Billy Woods. I'm not really sure offhand. If anybody knows, please put that in the chat if they're still doing that or not. But yeah, this is Primal Carnage Remake. This is the game that was announced. We had all 4 of those Primal Carnage games announced for the 4KP. This one never came. And I know Chaotic BPR had mentioned that this is the worst one of the 4, which is hard to believe because a lot of those did not go over quite very well. So this one doesn't look bad to me. It's very symmetrical. It has kind of an upper playfield, so to speak. And it has like a hatchery type of theme to it. It says hatching season 1, 2, and 3. Those are the main modes. You have raptor loops and a couple of different capture holes. You have 6 flippers on a single level playfield is pretty aggressive. So I can't tell if this playfield up here, up here, there's actually a raptor that's like curled into an egg is what they're showing there. It's really hard to visualize. But yeah, this is the one that never came to the 4KP. Do you think it would ever come? No, Primal Carnage equals poop. How can it be a remake of a game that didn't exist? More like an AI-made variant game. Pinball Wizard, no, you're absolutely right, man. Gong Ryan, welcome. Hey. Good to see you, man. So yeah, there was that. Sorry about that. I'll jump over it. We got a couple things else that are coming out and talked about. So if you were waiting on an HD pinball table, this might be a thing. They announced, I believe this was yesterday. Attention At Games pinball fans, HD fans. If you asked to be updated about the At Games Legends pinball lineup, the wait is over. Apparently HD pinball tables are now available again. I went to the website today to confirm that, and these are still not showing up. So I'm not sure why they posted this. All they have shown for the HD pinball packs is the micro, which is still $325. Still a great bargain. If you do not have a micro and you want an HD system, it's a very good option. It will never play the Zen table, sadly. But I actually really like my micro a lot. So GD dumpster fires is what the Primal Carnage tables are. You know, that's sad because I actually don't mind Primal Carnage Deluxe, but the 2 capture holes are broken on that table. And if they had fixed those with a patch, I think that table would be a lot better. Primal Carnage Retro is only okay at best. I do not like the solid state one. It has no personality. It's super plain. Yeah, it's a remake of a hypothetical game that never came out. It sounds like a tree falling in a forest with nobody around. Dennis B. Oh, you're so right, man. So yeah, there's always this stuff, right, that we see and we just shake our heads at. We're like, come on, man. This happened as well. So week 1 deals have been announced for new HDP owners. So this came out on Saturday as well. It's funny, you could score up to 70% off for the first week that you own your device, and Pinball Net is 50% off, giving you access to over 160 total bodacious games. Pretty cool verbiology there, if you will. These shell-tastic savings won't last long. Great news for the 4K and Legends HD players, too. We've got some awesome stuff in the works just for you. Stay tuned. We're announcing more as it comes. So this is where we got that CE HDP banner. That's the first time we had seen it. So there's that. Then, associated with this, we had all kinds of events come out. So all of these events talking about Celebrate, your play contest. There's different events happening with the HDP. Here we have the HDP unit built in. It's talking about home pinball starts here. This is for the launch of the HDP on Friday. They talked about the $200 sound effects kit that's available, the $100 off the control panel, $200 off the sound effects kit. It is not the price of them, sadly. And then they doubled down and they've actually changed some stuff on this too. If you go a little further, here's where the TMNT is now available. So that was a big deal. We actually had our device. We found out first thing in the morning. I was able to download this at like 9:30 in the morning. I bought it for $8 and got it fired up and playing it. Obviously, I did a 2.5 hour stream on it on Saturday morning, so that was fun. Got to play it and show it off a little bit. Great table. I really enjoy it. Also this. So all of this stuff happened like right away. So here you had, this is the day before the launch of the HDP. They announced they were going to have a tournament for the new HDP users, and they're actually going to give away pinball packs as opposed to gift cards. So that was kind of cool. First place prizes would win Star God Deluxe and Magic Castle Deluxe pinball tables. So, and then 4 random winners would win Nature's Fury pinball. So that was kind of cool, something different. I like the idea of them giving away packs especially to a new branch of the ecosystem. So celebrate, get it? I know, right? Pricing, yeah, Billy Woods, it is what it is, man. The pricing's kind of what they do. They must have heard about my video. Yes, I'm sure. They see our stuff. There's no debating anymore. They see our stuff. Let's be honest. They're watching. They're watching. They're checking us out. They're watching our videos. As content creators, we are the voice for At Games in many ways. So it's very important that we are consistent in our showing what is going on. And so, yeah. So next up, we had the Halloween pinball tournament. So this was another, on top of Flipper Friends, on top of the HDP tournament they had for new users, they also had the Halloween pinball tournament, which ended a couple of days ago. We had lots of cool tables for this one, all spooky tables. We had Chucky and the Creature, and we had Spooky itself. We had a Haunted House. Lots of cool games for this one. This was actually a really fun tournament. I really enjoyed this one a lot. So these themed tournaments I really enjoy just because they're more specific about what they have as opposed to just throwing out 5 games. So that's always really cool to see. So bad that they had to give them away. Billy Woods talking about the pinball packs. Yeah. It would be a nice gesture to At Games give free copies of the rest of the year's tables to anyone who owns the existing tables. It would drive a lot of sales during the 70% off too. Well, they're not going to do that. They are a company that needs to make money, obviously. But there is a sale coming for that, and we'll talk about that here in a minute too. I'm surprised they haven't sent someone to my house to shut me up. Billy Woods, they're not going to do that. There's no At Games ninjas. It's not Nintendo, right? Everybody talks about the Nintendo ninjas come to the house and steal your stuff and all that. Dennis B., as soon as they went to individual tables, I assumed sales were coming. It's the only way to move the older tables. That's true. So, absolutely true. You are not wrong about that. So, gift cards is the next thing. I mean, they're going away from coupon codes and going to At Games gift cards. I think this was a smart idea, although it caused all kinds of chaos for a lot of users who won coupon codes in the last few weeks because you couldn't use them on device, you couldn't use them on the website. You had to figure out where you could buy your games, so that was a big thing across the board. How would it drive sales if you have to give away the rest of the tables you bought for the existing ones? A loyalty point system would be nice for sure. If they had ninjas, they wouldn't have weapons. No, Billy Woods, come on, man. I actually talked to the creator of the Ninja Turtles game, and if you notice, they don't. The turtles on the side of the cabinet don't have weapons. The ones on the back glass don't have weapons. The ones in the center of the playfield don't have weapons. But there is weapons for the Ninja Turtles all over that playfield. They're on the slingshots. Every one of the turtles is represented with their weapons in their shells. Like, their weapons on the table. But somebody said that and it just proliferated. And everybody said there's no weapons on the table. There is. Just look around. They're there. 10 points per game bought, and every 10x you get a freebie or whatever. Pinball Wizard, I'm concerned about that. That's a lot of math. I don't know that At Games has been the best about math and coding all of that. And I mean, now they're 3 ecosystems deep between the HD, the 4K, and the HDP. They've got to deal with all that. Plus the leaderboards. There's a lot going on. Why is Splinter anywhere? Splinter is he's on the playfield, Dennis B. He's on the right-hand side. Look at the playfield. The only guy you're missing is Casey Jones. We've got Krang. We've got, well, here. I'm going to pull it up, okay? My goodness. You're crazy. So look here. Look here. Dennis B. Right here. Splinter is right there. Right here. Come on, man. Come on. Come on, Dennis B. Tell me you didn't. Tell me you've seen that. He's on there. Let's not get crazy. So, Splinter is on the playfield. We have almost all the characters except Casey Jones was kind of the biggest one that I seen was missing. So that was a thing. I didn't see them when I played, but I only had 5 minutes to play. Things like that are so busy around, and there's no time for pinball. Man, priorities. You need some priorities. You gotta play pinball at least an hour a day. You gotta get an hour a day in. All right. Next up, we announced this today. Another big sale of pinball games is coming. So if you didn't buy a ton of games last time, and I know I did, I bought $36 worth of games, which should have been like $70 worth of games. Hidden under a rail like Krang. He's there. He's there. Now I see the weapons. See what I'm saying, Billy Woods? You just had to look around. Jabba, welcome to the stream, buddy. Just going to sit in the corner and be quiet. No comments about at games. Too much fire department stuff, yeah. And Billy Woods mods, again, I want to honor you a little bit, man. Are you a volunteer firefighter or full-time firefighter? Either way, what an awesome job and incredible service that you do. I mean, risking your life for that is just incredible. So my big thanks to you, man, for that. So, but yes, this sale, if you haven't already bought all the games, wait until the 10th. November 10th, there's another 70% off sale happening on select Pinball and PinballNet subscriptions. It's up to 70% off on PinballNet even. So I think this is even better than the deal they had before. Before it was up to 50% on PinballNet. I think this is now up to 70% off on PinballNet. Still excludes the Zen Studios products, which is not shocking, and applies to Legends single tables, not the packs. So, I mean, all the tables are available individually now. I did a top 10 video on the top 10 games you should buy during the sale. That will still apply come November 10th. All the games, I would assume, are going to be, I mean, before they were $4. So if the packs, I mean, maybe they'll do the retro tables to a couple dollars each. Maybe that's a way to sell those. Interesting. If it's 50% off on most tables, that's bet right down to $4 again. And for the ones on the HD system, well, this is going to be, so this is a sale for 4K, HD, and HD players. So the sale last time was only for the 4K people. So this is a big move. If you can start getting games for the HD system for like $3 or even cheaper, I mean, I would definitely pick up the ones that I don't have. I never bought Shooting the Rapids Deluxe. I never bought Firefighter Deluxe. Earth, Wind, and Fire Deluxe, which I hate. It's a terrible game. I'm going to say it. It's a terrible game. Don't buy it. But there's people who like it. I get yelled at about it all the time. Yeah, firefighter. Yeah, awesome, man. Curious to know more about up to and select tables. Yeah, Dennis B, you're not wrong. There's some creative language there to suggest which ones will be for sale and which ones won't. All the retros will be 70% off. LOL. Still too much. Possible. There's a few good retro tables. There's not a lot of them. I would say Zancor Deluxe, or I'm sorry, Zancor Retro is actually a pretty good table. We've played a few good ones here and there, but they're not the best tables. But that's okay. I mean, if you like your retro tables, you're gonna love them. So, all right, that is that. This is just a quick thing that I did today. If you guys are interested or not, it doesn't have to be. I actually made some business cards. So when I go to trade shows and different events, I'll have my business card available to hand out to people. And at the very least, you'll have a little token of RTX Pinball. You only need one ball for greatness. And on the back of this, it has my QR codes for my YouTube channel and my Discord. So, yeah, that's a thing. Okay. I snuck an Earth, Wind, and Fire song and music video into my review of the table. Mexico 86 Retro, you're right. We just played that one. Not too bad. I didn't actually get to play that one, sadly, because I had too much going on. So I missed out on that one, but... ridiculous. I do want to do one little thing. Pub the Daily Grind. So the Daily Grind, we talked about it briefly. That's this tournament that is played on my Discord. I'm going to show you the list of tables that we've played. We've played a lot of tables. First of all, we play a table every day in the Daily Grind. So this is the list of the tables that we have played for the last few weeks. And look at the tables on here. These are personally picked by the winners of per day, or if it's a release, if there's a release that came out, we go with that game. So Party Monsters and Scared Stiff, that was the day of those releases. We just did TMNT on Saturday because that had released. We did Soccer Kings 86. I actually won Future World, believe it or not, which I rarely win. You could see a lot of the names in here. Chelada Love, Soggy Bacon, Mad Ben Han, Dennis B, Skull Joe pops in every once in a while. Tomato Grass will come in and steal the show every now and then. The Daily Grind is an awesome tournament if you guys are interested in. There's no prizes. It's all about the talk. It's all about the strategies and the helping each other get on the back glass and things like that. I try to keep this log up to date. Lots of awesome games here that we play. I think it was in September. Oh, really? Jeez, Pete's. Like the card. I superimpose stuff on the DMD, on the HD when it's not utilized. That's cool. Why not, man? So, yeah, if you're interested in looking for alternate tournaments to the Flipper Friends, which have been pretty crazy lately. We've had a lot of different Flipper Friends tournaments. You've had the Flipper Friends tournament, the normal one. You have the HD and the 4K one. So if you have the HD and the 4K, you can participate in both of those. You can also do Retro Legends. Papa Brad has his tournaments every Friday. He talks about those and gives you games that he's playing. You have Calling All Ballers on Facebook. You have Jabba, who's in the chat. He does some ones through Pinball FX. So you have alternate tournaments all over the place. So if you're looking for competition for your pinball, they are out there. You do not see Deep Space Nine. Human, that was actually further back. There's a whole list. I cut off the first 20 games on here. But yeah, Deep Space Nine is actually up there too. There was a ton of games. Hopefully I didn't miss it in the order, but I think I got them all. On the Daily Grind, we only play good tables unless RTX picks. Dennis B, yes, I made them. I got stuck choosing a couple. Every once in a, if somebody doesn't pick the table within a certain time frame, by 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock the next day, I'll end up picking a table. But I actually won. So I actually won. I got to pick, and I actually chose Borderlands. And while everybody hates Borderlands, including myself, I will say that I actually really came to love Borderlands. Maybe not love, but I really ended up liking it a lot. It is a tough as nails game, but we started to figure it out. And our buddy Soggy Bacon, I haven't seen him in the chat, but this guy went off. Now he is, I think he's fourth on the back glass now for Borderlands. He went absolutely crazy. So I think if you get I think it's 40 million you can get on the back glass for Borderlands. Something like that. No, I think I was 60 million. I was just outside the back glass, I think. He had 78 million. He put himself on the back glass, and then he went and played it again and had 386 million points or some crazy thing. It's just absolutely insane. So, man, oh man, Borderlands, dude, you can't knock me for Garfield. Garfield's a good game. That's fine. You guys can hate me. It's fine. Thanks, RTX. I just set up an ice scored for VR only pinball. All those platforms play so differently. Yes, they sure do. And the one thing too, Java, in my daily grind, I did not mention this. Any platform that you can play on is eligible. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you're playing on your mobile phone. I don't care if you're playing on VR. I don't care if you're playing on console. So long as the games are available on the At Games ecosystem, you're eligible to pick that game for the entire thing. So if you, for example, you didn't want to buy Borderlands because the game is absolutely horrid, you could have still played it on your cell phone, watch an ad, play the game, and still contribute to the tournament. So it's just an option. It's for fun. It's just the honors thing. And it gives everybody a chance to play. Soggy Bacon is an absolute legend. Mad Ben, welcome to the stream, man. Look at how many times. So I think I already took this off the screen. Look how many times Mad Ben Han and Soggy Bacon, Chill Out of Love, these guys have won. It is absolutely insane. They are fantastic players. The great thing about this tournament is you don't have to play every day. So if they're too busy one day, they just won't play. And so everybody else will get to win. Also, every time you have a repeat winner, they do not get to pick that table that following day. So you only get to pick the table if you are a single time winner. So if you win 2 days in a row, you have to designate somebody else to pick the table. So it makes it a little cool. No, it's not 4KP Java. It can be any platform. So if you're playing in VR, as long as it's available on the 4KP, you can absolutely post a score. It's all about fun, man, and we're not worried about necessarily running it up or worried about the physics of one to the other. I ain't worried about any of that stuff. It's all about the fun. It's all about the strategy. We want to help people get to the back glass in any way, shape, or form. That is where the fun really is with the community. So, yeah, we have a lot of fun in it. Just one more way to play and enjoy the systems as what they are. Man, oh man. What else is new? We've had so much crazy stuff going on. The best part about the daily grind is the conversation between us and exploring the tables. Thank you for that, Pinball Wizard. There's a lot of truth to that. I know Soggy Bacon is really a big believer in that as well. We talk. The Discord is, by the way, is free and open to anybody who can get in there now. The description to be able to get into it, there's a link in the profile of my YouTube channel now has the updated Discord, and it should be permanently open now. So you should be able to get in. You don't have to do an application or nothing. You'll be approved immediately, and you're in there. So definitely do it. I think you'll have a lot of fun. But like you said, it's all about the community. It's just about, we talk about the strategies. For today, we were talking about, for winter sports. Here, we'll jump over and we'll talk about it just briefly. Oops. Look at that. Come on now. There we go. I duped you guys. So winter sports was the table for today. And this is an old table. So this is like a 1980 table, something like that. This table was all about the center spinner. So you could rip this spinner again and again and again. You get this center thing up from 10 to 100 to 1,000 points. And you just keep hitting that spinner again and again and again. And almost every ball you can get an extra ball and just keep on playing. But if you didn't know how to play this table, you could play it. You get in the Discord, people are talking about it, they're teaching you how to play it. It's just a lot of fun. I know for Borderlands, a lot of people didn't know how to play that table, and so I did a little tips and tricks short on it just to let people know what I do, and then come to find out, like, I didn't know all the whole rules for that. Soggy Bacon come in and he's like, dude, you got to hit the bumpers. There's a ton of points in the bumpers. So it's all about helping everybody get better scores. It's really not. There's a competition aspect to it, but it's really about learning the tables and just playing for fun. So the layout of the table is very close to the original aerobatics table. Yeah, a lot of those tables, Dennis B, are very similar. If you look at Nautilus and Battle or Combat, they're almost identical games with a different number of drop targets on the right hand side. If you look at aerobatics, and yeah, you're saying aerobatics and winter sports are very similar. Yeah, there's a lot that are pretty similar, just different theming here or there. Guys on the daily grind all want to help each other and root for each other, getting those big scores. They don't exclude anyone, and you can play on any platform. Yes, absolutely. So that's what it's all about. So if you're looking for a little dose of competition, but you still, if you get your butt kicked, who cares? And there's no, you're not gonna lose a trophy or anything like that. And if you don't have the game, you don't have to play. Or if in the event that even if you don't win, there's a good chance that somebody already won the day before, and you might get designated to pick the game for the next day. If you're contributing and you never get to pick, we're gonna make sure that you get to pick a table. That's gonna be a thing. So pick your favorites, you throw it at everybody, and then we all play it and say whether we like it or not, or you're an idiot, like they told me. Dennis B was like, "Why are you making me play Borderlands? This game's terrible." That's fine. That's fine. You're gonna have some stinkers, but we've had no repeats, and I think we've done the daily grind for. I'd have to go back and look, but it's been what, 6-7 weeks maybe. We've been doing the daily grind for a lot. It's been a long time. We've covered a lot of tables. 60 tables, so 60 days. So that's only a month. Is that really it? Well, I feel like we've done more than that. But either way, it's been a lot of fun. So that's the show tonight, guys. I don't have anything else for you. Like I said, I knew we had a lot to cover. We had, between all the pinball tables in the new remastered, the Walking Dead remastered that came out, all the conversations surrounding that, all the sales that have been going on, the TMNT, the HDP that came out, it's just been a crazy amount of stuff. So we'd like to exclude Mad Ben Han because he makes us all look bad. 2 months equals 60 days. Yeah, so thank you, Pinball Wizard, for correcting my math. I wanted to say 6-8 weeks. It feels like we've done it forever. Bye. See you in the Discord. That's cool. That's awesome, man. Yeah, if you're not in the Discord yet, definitely check it out. I mean, there's no pressure. If you don't want to, that's fine. You can only handle so much pinball news. You can see me every week, either on Wednesday night or Sunday night, whatever works best. But check it out. Tomorrow, we've got Chelada Love doing his VPX stream, so make sure to check that out. Chelada Love, he does this thing all the time. It's pretty cool. He's got some really good tables again lined up for tomorrow, so definitely check that out at noon Eastern time. And then tomorrow night, I guess we won't have Yo Retro because there was no release this week, so we're not going to have that. So, also, if you did not check out the Wizard Room on Monday night, definitely check that out. That was another great episode, so do that. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me. Like and subscribe if you're new here, or if you're new to the HDP, new to the 4KP, the HD, new to the ecosystem. For all the news on real pinball, digital pinball, and everything in between, definitely check out my channel. And remember, guys, you only need one ball for greatness. So keep plunging, enjoy the tables, and we'll see you on the leaderboards, guys. Bye. Retro Tech.